warm welcome to each and everyone. The main speaker, Madam Shashwathi S. Vardhan. All the attendees, I see good number of participation this evening. First of all, thank you everyone for taking time on this weekend. For KhetiValah, the responses we get from always the attendees is so encouraging that we continue to do our work. So before we really start the program of the day, I would spend a few minutes explaining what KhetiValah is and what we do. KhetiValah is a brainchild of our founder Sri K. Lakshman, and we bring this program to you through one of the companies that he started, Haldari Communications Private Limited. It's predominantly India-based right now, and we are expanding to global. And the main theme is to be thankful to the person who keeps food on our table. And that is the inspiration to do all these things towards the KhetiValah, means the farmer. Okay, next slide, please. For Indians to explain what an application is not required, because every person whoever is not speaking, kindly be muted. This would help smooth conduct of our program. So this app, I would further explain what this app does. It is to help farmer to get all the information in one place, and also allow the farmer to network and connect with the people who are interested in what he does, and help the farmer's journey to perfect his profession and continue his services to the society. Next slide, please. So as I said, it's an Android app, and you can download from Play Store, and it would have the number of farmers and the niveshaks, plus a few more things that KhetiValah does. And it is really helpful in the long run. When the farmer continues to use our application, he would become prosperous, not by cash, but by virtue of his knowledge and wisdom that he gains. He would do better farming. Next slide, please. So I would highlight all these various activities that KhetiValah has undertaken. I would begin with KhetiKendra first and come to KhetiCorner. So next slide, please. Second one is KhetiKendra. So we select a few mandals. Thank you, Ravi Shankar. And these mandals are like group of villages, and there we'll want to have a knowledge center. And with the technical knowledge that is delivered to the farmers, we will have insights given to the farmer. Farmer would be enriched with best practices. That is the idea of KhetiKendras. And Kheti Kalyan, the word Kalyan in Sanskrit refers not just marriage as one might think. It's regarding success and making someone successful. So that is Kalyan. So investors come forward to search for the farmers who are doing cultivation as a service, just like software as a service. So Kheti Kalyan is a platform to bridge the gap between the skilled farmer and those who are looking for them. And we have a 24/7 Agri news in YouTube and other social media. And Kheti Purashkar and Kheti Summit, these are socially outbound activities, physical meetings, unlike the virtual one we are doing now. And we will select the right platform and tell you the venue, date, and time for you to participate. In Purashkar, we will recognize people who are helping promote agriculture by recognizing their talent and initiative. And Kheti Summit is a huge event of, let us say, thousands of people participating in something like Palace Grounds in New Delhi, where we introduce all the best practices. Like today's speaker is going to talk about natural and organic farming. Dialogues, we do a lot of dialogues in multiple languages. English is one of them. After Kheti Summit, there is Kheti Dialogue part and Kheti Kosha. Kheti Dialogues we are doing in multiple languages like English, Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Gujarati, and going to Filipinos and Japanese as well. Kosha is a concept of recognizing that Indian agriculture has 179.9 million hectares of cultivable land, and that can be made more effective and efficient by best practices by following all that what we are doing in each and every dialogue session. There is a message for the farmer, and we are not alone. We have an ecosystem. We work with third party individuals like companies who are working on seeds and crops. Yesterday there was a discussion on biofortified rice seeds, which you can get by asking rice research department of government in selected places, like in Hyderabad. Smart farming, where you use drones and robotics like UGVs and UAVs, bore wells, insurance, machine parts, auctioning and buying, spare parts, marketing support, finance, fertilizers, pesticides, the whole gamut of agriculture things. We like, we are giving a farming hand, a helping hand to the farmer. So we have dialogues that this is one of the 22nd episodes of our KhetiValah Dialogues. And like this, we bring a lot of subject matter experts like Madam. She is the founder of Hrudya Organics, so certainly she knows natural farming and organic, the differences, etc. You are going to hear those differences. Next slide, please. And we bring a bi-monthly magazine, which we intend to make it every month. And then with the support of you, if you can subscribe in your respective departments, wherever you have a library, 150 rupees per edition, like every 2 months, it can be monthly. This is what really I like about everyone orders food through Zomato, Swiggy. But now think about a farmer. He doesn't order food because he makes food for the world. What he may need is that he may not have a vehicle to move, and somebody brings something to his doorstep is a blessing for him, so that he will have enough rest for tomorrow's work that he has to do. Lot of hard work in the field. So we want to empower the farmers with this KhetiCorner concept within 5 kilometers range of where the farmer lives. And this concept is going to be a big boost. Then the dreams of our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam of provisioning urban amenities in rural areas will come for fruition. And we will have a lot of FPOs and others participating in this activity. A bit about agriculture and what I have done with the Bureau of Indian Standards. I have contributed to Transport Equipment Department number 32, Indian Standards on drones used for agriculture. I'm also author of a textbook aimed at precision farming. I have a patent, and also I have worked in both defense and in multinational corporations. Next slide, please. These are great scholars right from space and aviation and industry, agriculture industry, and Niti Ayog, and leading institutions like ISRO, IISc, and others, IITs as well. Okay, next slide, please. We have Dr. Gayatri and Sumita, whom I partnered with writing some of the chapters and books. And we have a lot of other great scholars, as you see. Chaitanya and Yogesh, they are representing global model villages. Satyanarayan and Ramesh, they both are entrepreneurs and they have patents. Next slide, please. And a lot of other speakers. When we diversified to multiple languages, including Telugu, we found Chintal Reddy Garu, Sudhakar Garu, MCV Prasad Garu, Madam Sudha Reddy, and regarding the pomegranate, Chakravarti has spoken, and the other professors and leaders who contribute as moderators and speakers. So like this, we have multiple languages in Marathi, and then today's speaker also will be part of our repository of the speakers as an illustration for future reference. About today's program, the Srimati Shashwathi Vardhan, Hrudya Natural Products, She's very passionate about what she does, and you will discover that very soon. Her topic is natural farming, and the main idea behind her venture is to provide people with natural chemical-free products from our farm to the consumers. For example, coconut oil is one of the native oils that India has been advocating in our kitchen to ancient times, but has become replaced with olive oil and other refined oils with less or no nutritional benefit. So this is one message she has, and so instead of much delay, so you all can keep writing your messages in the chat box. Wait for some of the announcements from our team while our team will present you the speech by Madam Shashwathi. So organizers, Madam Shashwati's presentation you only keep instead of presenter giving the, as I came to know that there's some problem in the laptop. So presenters, you present the slides and then ma'am will speak. Thank you. Okay, I will turn up the volume and decrease noise. So continue ma'am, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, hello everyone. My name is Shashwathi. So, I'm a woman entrepreneur, and I started this new business venture of mine, that is Hrudya Natural Products. So, as sir said, the main intention behind it is to eliminate middlemen and also to promote natural farming and naturally grown products to you. I'm sure this is an interactive session, and I would love if everyone is interactive during the session. If I ask any question, if someone knows the answer or wants to answer, they can definitely. So, have any of you heard the term natural farming before, or is this the first time that you're hearing that term? You can unmute and you can talk also, I guess. What do you think natural farming is about?
Natural farming is as far as possible natural things we use, like from the seed to the harvest, and especially fertilizers and these chemicals for this uh, uh, for pest control, without using any of these things. That is natural farming in a broad, whatever.
Exactly, sir. You're correct only. Whatever you said, that is what natural farming stands for. So this natural farming concept was brought or invented or coined by Masunobu Fukuoka. He is actually a Japanese farmer who wanted to try out this any new method where there are no chemicals involved. Whenever you grow a crop, we always tend to use any kind of chemical fertilizer or pesticides into it, right? So, and initially, when this revolution started in India, we started using the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, or pesticides more, because we wanted the output or yield to be more, and we wanted the yield immediately, instantly, correct? So, later we got to know the drawbacks of it. Once we use excessive fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, or pesticides, the soil actually loses its fertility. And also, you are prone to many diseases, correct? Once you consume these food products or crops where it has been glazed with lot of chemicals, fertilizers, or pesticides, you're prone to most of the illness that we face today, that is cancer, or it can be leading to obesity or any other illness, right? So what natural farming stands for is a farming which is followed from ancient times in India and other parts of the world before the chemical fertilizer or pesticides concept came into the picture. We actually were self-reliant. So natural farming is the main difference, like sir said, the main difference between the concept of natural farming and organic farming is both are chemical free fertilizers or pesticides are used, but the main difference between these two is in organic farming we use store bought what do you say, organic manure or pesticides, right? Here we actually prepare our own fertilizer or pesticides, which are completely self-reliant. We don't have to step outside of our farm. We can produce our own fertilizer or pesticides, which are effective. So that is the main concept of natural farming. So guys, why do you think people are prone to this cancer or other illness? that we are facing today? Is it because of the air pollution, or is it because of the food we consume? What do you think is the main reactant between the illness that we are facing today? Is it because of our food, or is it because of any external factors only? What do you guys think?
Again, I am only answering both,
It's
madam.
okay, sir.
Air pollution
Yeah,
is also this thing, and as well as the food what we are eating.
yeah. Food.
Because just I will add another word. Recently, when my wife fell ill, when I asked the doctor, sister, as far as possible, say I am a pure vegetarian, and we are eating. I mean, as far as possible, nutrition and all this thing. Then doctor, he is a AIMS professor. He told, see, Mr. Rao, we don't know nowadays what we are eating. We don't know what we are drinking. I mean, water. We don't know what we are uh, inhaling. That also he told. So all these things are making us, I mean, ill. That's what the answer a professor of All India Institute of Medical Sciences he answered. Always it catches, and I always remember that. That's what.
That's very true, Mr. Rao. So what
May,
we don't have.
may I intrude here just
Sure,
to
sure,
my
sir,
view?
sure, sure.
How natural is natural farming?
Naturally, I would say
How
as
natural
naturally.
is natural farming? Because we have no control on natural farming because your external inputs that are going are not in your control. Earlier days, when our elders were doing farming, they were very much under our control. Now, when, as that gentleman rightly said, when water is not in your control, and you don't, whether you have metrics in natural farming, forget about other organic or chemical farming. There, at least in chemical farming, you have metrics like pH and other moisture content. And there were factorial effects were also speaking everywhere. But do you have such phenomenon here in natural farming to measure, monitor, and then produce what you have to produce
Yes,
without causing problems, you see, and then followed up by the environmental effects, you see, on the farming. What control do you have on your natural farming from the ill effects of the nature? Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, sir, for that question. So I would be answering that question now. You're talking about external factors, right? We don't have control over the water, but in our farm, what we are doing, I'll just explain that. We have a borewell in our land. So the water we derive is from there. And the fertilizer part, we only prepare our own fertilizer from the cow dung and cow urine, from the calves and cows which we have in our farm. So those are native cows, and only those urine and cow dung we use. And next, coming to the fertilizer part, we use other things like jaggery and also pulses, which we procure from the local natural farmers there, which we are sure that they are practicing natural farming, because we have been to their farm, we have checked everything and the fertilizers they have used. So we have control over the fertilizers part. And also we don't do excessive irrigation where the soil loses its nutritional value, or the plant loses its nutritional value. From the seeding to the ripening or yielding, till there we have our control. We have bijamruta, something called as bijamruta, where the seeds that we procure are drenched in the what do you say, organic matter that we produce, so that the seed is not prone to any illness in the future, so that the seed is yielding a good potential result in the future. So the control is there. And also I would love to host you in our farm once, to make sure that you can see what we are doing in our farm, how we are producing this fertilizer, how we are controlling the environment around the crop. If you see it directly, then you will have a better picture of what I am trying to explain now. Did I solve your doubt, your question? Did I answer your question?
Not to my full conscience.
Yes, I think that
Because,
it is
because
better.
I tell you, the very fundamental water itself is contaminated. In my own village, when we have done so much trying to take from the catchment, natural catchments, we are getting all chemical water flowing through these fields and percolating into the aquifers. We have absolutely no control on water. Then why is the question of the naturality here?
Yes,
Anyway, you can't take exceptional cases and then argue, but this
yes.
is the phenomenon existing all over the See, your water, air, and then for the fertilizers or whatever inputs you are putting, if they are not of natural type, then you don't expect the seed itself is endowed. Natural seed to be produced in organic farming. In 3 years continuously it should be produced before it goes into the organic farming. But why is that phenomenon in the case of organic farming? I don't know what are your philosophy in natural farming with regard
So,
to
yeah.
showing whether you
So
have control.
as you said, most of the chemicals are flowing from the field, right? If every one of us start practicing this natural farming, then there is no question of chemicals getting flown into the river or flown into any kind of water body. So it is not just one person or one
True,
farm.
true,
It
true.
is a
But then you
collective
should have
measure.
your own measures now. You have
Uh,
still the solution in the natural farming. You can
we
still
have
the water
solution, but
water
we
coming
want
into your
people to
field.
join us. We want other people to come and join us, join this movement. Actually, this movement was launched by Subhash Palekar. He is the brains behind natural farming or zero budget natural farming. And nowadays government is also emphasizing on this natural farming. If you've seen the budget last year, previous year, every year they're funding the zero budget natural farming, where they're pushing the farmers to have this natural farming method rather than using this chemical fertilizers or pesticides in the farm for the desired yield that they are expecting. So it is a collective measure, and if every one of us follow this natural farming, then in the future, not now, in the future, we may have control over the external factors like water also. But as of now, a single farm, I'm sure that it doesn't make a major difference, but we are impacting in a small way this natural farming community. The awareness is not there. That is the reason I wanted to speak today. I wanted more people to be acknowledged of this natural farming. Why we are doing this? It is not only for a business perspective or individual gain. It is for overall wholeness of the sun. Protecting the nature or the what do you say? See, the nature is already perfect. You don't have to glaze it with anything else extra, which is out of the ordinary or which is not naturally found in the nature. That is the concept of natural farming. What is natural farming is whatever you have in the farm, use that as fertilizer and you grow your plants, you grow your crops. Whatever you're trying to achieve from your agricultural aims, you can do it from whatever you availability of whatever bio waste you have in the farm. For example, we have this Jivamruta. Can you go back to the previous slide? Yeah, this is the fertilizer we use.
Okay, so what we are talking about is self sustainability. The main difference between organic and natural farming comes with self sustainability. In organic farming, we try to procure this earthworm manure and everything. It is effective. I'm not saying that it is not effective, and it is chemical free, but it will cost a hole in your pocket. You have to spend a certain amount of money on that. But here in natural farming, the main methodology is without without it being cost driven. You can procure this wonderful fertilizer in house. You can prepare it in house. For example, you can mix this 10 kg cow dung with 10 liter of cow urine, 2 kg of local jaggery, and 2 kg of pulses flour. Like, you can understand now, it is not cost driven, it is not very expensive. Whatever you can get it from your farm or nearby farm, only those ingredients goes into our natural farming fertilizers. These fertilizers are really effective because I have seen it in a farm from past 10 years, the effects of these fertilizers. They work wonder on the crops. The yield we get, they are it also improved. Initially, like chemical fertilizer, it won't have instant effect. Like, initially you won't have too much of yield, it doesn't happen that way. But as time goes and in the long run, it is very effective. This is the fertilizer we use, and it can be prepared easily. It is not labor intensive also. One person can prepare this. And if you prepare it for one day, you have to ferment it for a week. And you have to just mix it once in a while, thrice in a day. You just have to mix it, and you can supply this to your plants through drip or other kind of irrigation also, drip irrigation or sprinkler irrigation also. You can just supply this to your plants. This is cost effective, and it is also not labor intensive. Next slide, please.
We don't see I am not seeing the slide. You, ma'am, you can take control and you can share. You are co-host now.
Screen is coming, sir.
So it is showing to me the
Can
screen
you
is.
share? Is everyone seeing the slides?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So guys, as you can see, how can we prepare this Jivamrita? It is easy. We just use cow dung, water, dissolve it together, and later add jaggery, cow urine, and gram flour to it. Stir thrice a day. Stir it, and for the like I said, after a week, Jivamrita is ready for it to be supplied to your plants. See, if you are low on the labor scale, it can be done through sprinkler irrigation. It is also very effective. And the second main methodology that we use in our natural farming is mulching. Mulching is where we use the bio waste on the farm. Like we can find dry leaves, barks, and also husks of the coconut, correct? It is easily and plentifully and abundantly available in our farm. So what we do is we just arrange the bio waste that we find in our farm on the top layer of the soil, so that the top layer doesn't erode, the soil erosion doesn't take place. And also mulching, it's very effective method of keeping the moisture intact. Okay, the main difference between organic and natural farming. The primary difference between natural and organic farming lies in their approach to external inputs. Like I told you, we don't buy store bought fertilizers. We prepare our in-house fertilizer and also pesticides. To get rid of this infestation or anything, what we do is we have our own composition, where we use neem leaves and other materials, and we just spray it on the plants which are infected, which helps us to get rid of any kind of pest or any kind of infestation that we face. The tradition. Okay, so anything that I missed, any doubts here, anything that you want to ask?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes,
This side Zahid, CUZF Group of Farmers Paradise. I'm speaking from Srinagar, Kashmir. Okay.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, there is a less concept of in our state from Kashmir. It's a very much less concept about what actually organic farming and natural farming. Okay. Second, I want to know this thing that for going natural farming, I understand the difference between natural and organic, but for organic, there is a proper certification, NPOP certificate and TC, okay, transfer certificate, which is needed for selling that product to a particular store or particular organic store. Okay, if you call your product, it's organic. Second thing, does we or do we have any certification for natural farming, or we can obtain any certification for natural farming, or we can go for that?
Okay, so I had to answer to your question. Organic farming, it has become very popular. Like you said, they have this organic certificate and everything. And in natural farming, we don't have that concept. But our father, the natural farming father of India, that is Subhash Palekar, he actually hosts this seminars. These seminars where the people who are practicing natural farming to the core, those people are they are actually awarded, and these people get a certificate of acknowledgement that they are following natural farming. But I'm
Okay.
not sure, most of the organic store, they accept this natural farming method and this certificates, but it is not from any governing body. Like I can tell you, it
But
is not
ma'am,
from the governing.
I'm in in this field, this organic field, from the last 5 years, from 2019. Okay, I have the collaboration with organic companies, but
Okay.
they won't accept my product. Like I don't have the TC. I speaking from the heart, I don't have the TC and other products, because like my badam, they are pure and natural, but they don't accept my product. Why? Because they need proper certification. For certification, it's a long process. You know how
Yes,
many
yes,
years
yes.
for obtaining certification? It's a 4 year time. Your
Yeah,
land will be sealed. And
yeah.
I have a collaboration with number of farmers whom I purchase my product and also sell my. I'm also a farmer. I also sell my product also. But in this market in India, I'm talking not talking about foreign. In India, there is a problem that people will ask for the certification. If you go anywhere, people will tell you that, look, if you have certification, we can take product from you. If you don't have certification, we can't take product from you. Okay, I think we should accept this point. For if we go for the natural farming, there should be any governing authority or body which we can get the certification, so that, because at the last, documents work. Because if you have a document, if you have a proper document, that will speak. I personally believe that these are the challenges which I faced these 5 or 6 years. That's why I thought I should share these points in this
That is
scenario.
very much true. Whatever you're saying, Mr. Zaid, this happened to us also, right? We have this natural farming. What do you say? So it is not a certificate, an acknowledgement from that body. Like I said, those seminars and everything which we attend, we got the acknowledgement. But the problem here is, like you said, we don't have the certificate. But as of now, we are doing mouth to mouth marketing. People who have bought our products, who have visited our farm, those people are doing the publicity for us. But if you want to take it to a larger scale, we need to file an appeal to the government saying that we are facing this kind of issue, natural farming issue,
But
because they are
madam,
push this
madam,
natural.
it's think we can go for the natural farming. It's good. If we can go for the natural farming, but at the end, everybody needs finance. Everybody needs money, because nobody will do the farming without the money. Everybody wants to sell the product at international level or at a domestic level, where it can. Nobody tell that, oh, I'm producing any particular product and it has no market. But at the end of the day, you have to sell that product. And
True.
I personally believe that if we go for the natural farming, it should have proper certification, so that we can encourage the farmers to go for the natural farming. First point. Second point is that it should be very easy to get the certification process. Because if I encourage my farmers, I
Yeah,
have supposed
Jahid,
100.
you
Yeah.
already conveyed it and ma'am replied, so we'll move further and then maybe end of the presentation again. We'll come back to Q&A. That would be nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But whatever Mr. Zaid said, it is very relevant to the present situation of farmers. Even we have faced it. But if as long as
Ma'am,
the
I have
government,
faced it. I
yeah.
have faced it because I am representing number of farmers from Kashmir. I have faced it yesterday only. That's why it's a genuine, because this scenario we have only 23 participants, but I think personally believe that this is scenario so that I can share my information with the others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zaid. Yeah. So I'll just continue the presentation and later we'll have the discussion in the end. So also wanted to talk about this rainwater conservation or water conservation, because recently we faced a lot of drought, right? This year, all of us farmers together. Yeah, Mr. Sudhakar Reddy.
I can ask at the end of the session, please.
Okay, yeah.
Please go
So
ahead.
I also wanted to talk about this Krishi Hondas, the ancient way method of water conservation. Like if you have about 2 to 3 acres of land, you can use 5 kuntas of land for this Krishi Hondas, because these are very effective. We have had this effect firsthand in our farm. We have this. Do have good water levels at our farm, but we face this water crisis now and then because of the monsoons are hit, or it has been a very dry season. But once we have this Krishi Hondas, it really helped us in rejuvenating our underground water levels, and also it collects the water during the rainy season, and we can use it for the dry seasons also. So next slide, please. So these are called Krishi Hondas, which we have in our farm, an image representation of the same. Government is also giving subsidy for these Krishi Hondas if any farmer is interested. Like 90% they are giving the subsidy and 10% you are supposed to pay. There are many other schemes that you can Google it. But this is very effective. I just wanted to add this point to our presentation to make sure that this helps some other farmer who's facing a water crisis. So next slide. So these are a showcase of our products, what we have. This is cold pressed natural coconut oil, and Salem variety natural turmeric pepper, Panur variety pepper, and Ayurvedic hair tonic that we have. So this is just a glimpse of our product. Next slide, please. So you can place the order through Instagram. we have this page called Hrudya Natural Products, where you can place the order for your products. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Sudhakar Reddy, you wanted to ask something.
Thank you very much. And yes, sir. Continue and we'll have discussions now. And there are some questions as well. Reddy Garu, before you start there, because there is a question I'll read out also. The question that I read is this. Maybe you can answer in any sequence, either first Sudhakar Reddy Garu and
May I
sir.
ask now?
Okay, I think it's your message only. You
Yes.
typed it. So when Jivamrut is
If I
considered as
got
natural
my turn,
fertilizer,
can I ask this?
it doesn't have NPK elements. That is your point. So let her answer that.
No, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
and as an extension to what I asked, say in the main questionnaire. So the point here is the mere application of Jivamrut will not help the soil health nor the soil fertility. It can only generate microorganisms which are supposedly, helping to go below the soil profile to lower levels and fetch the tapped so-called nutrients available over the ages, even 100, 200-year-old tapped elements are there. That is the philosophy of natural farming. It's not as if you are going, without adding your inputs, agri inputs, it is wrong to expect that, the soil is giving you this out of Jivamrutam. Jivamrutam is only activator, it's only starter. If you have other things, they will help in extracting these elements, from deeper layers of the soil. The whole objective of natural farming is that, not that it just with mantra you can do wonders. At least we can understand in organic farming, the elements are there; they are giving organic inputs. Unlike chemicals have disadvantage. They give chemical inputs directly to the plants, so that plants will immediately act. Whereas in the case of organic, they give to the soil, they act little slower than chemical. Even then, these inputs with organic acids, they will help the plants secure the nutrients. Whereas in your case, you are only giving the helper, fertilizer helper. Where is the fertilizer in the soil in the first place? For anyone to expect, even if it is zero budget natural farming or otherwise. Let's not go into that criticism. Even owning a cow also will cost you something. Therefore, it is not zero budget natural farming. Everybody agreed and they started making it Subhash Palekar SPNF. They changed from ZPNF to SPNF. That is understandable. Without budget, nothing happens in this world. So I'm not going to that aspect now. The point here is the Jivamrut with all your formulation, considerably the pH is one factor which is affecting the farmer. You are not concerned about it. There is no metrics for you, nor you have element to balance the pH in the water in natural manner. That's why I asked, how natural is your natural farming? Do you have any substance without inhibiting the performance of your Jivamrut? Can it go straight away with all the potential things for better efficacy? Assuming your Jivamrut is a fertilizer, there itself you have lacuna because the substrates are inhibited by pH. When water pH is not in your control, you cannot get proper fermentation. The basic objective is that. So it's not the criticism here, it is the factuality, the reality. And we keep talking, over the ages, about the efficacy of natural farming. We are not doubting the integrity of natural farming. Only point is, like our elders who have been putting this farmyard manure earlier, we are not putting even farmyard manure in natural farm. You can't expect Jivamritam to serve you in the way you expect it to serve you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. As you said, the NPK is already present in the lower level of the soil. It is already there. What you need is an aggravator, or you want it to be more effective, or you want it to be supplied to your plant. So the microbes in the cow urine and cow dung serves the purpose of supplying those NPK to the plant roots. So that is the main idea behind Jivamrita. See, before also the plant has grown before the fertilizer. It has been growing. It will grow no matter we put the fertilizer or not. What we are trying to do is, what we are trying to promote here is, without the use of fertilizer also you can grow plants, you can get the yields, but not the instantaneous results that you have from the chemical fertilizer. That is the main idea behind this. Naturally it is possible for us to get it without using any external inputs. You can get in the forest. If you see, there are many trees which have been surviving from centuries, right, without the use of any NPK chemical fertilizers or anything. It is self sustaining. We are just trying to replicate that into the farmland. Whatever is there in the forest, we are trying to replicate it into the farmland. That is the main philosophy. And additional to that, we use Jivamrut so that the microbes, because we use commercial crops, right, we want, at the end of the day, we want to earn something out of the farmland. So what we use is, we use Jivamrita so that the microbes helps us in providing those results, at least in one medium term of range, like medium term of time, medium term, I would say medium term. It is not long term, short term, medium term. We get the acquired, what do you say, the results that we are anticipating. Those results can be found from Jivamrut. We don't have to put anything extra into the nature. The nature is already perfect. We don't have to put anything extra because it has been there before the humans existed, and it will stay the same after the humans leave or we become extinct. That is not the idea behind natural farming. The main idea is it is self-sustaining and it works. Whatever has been working with the nature, it will work in the farmland also. Whatever has been working in the forest, we can replicate that and we can use that in the farmland also, without being too self-centered, like taking out the weed plants, taking out other plants, destroying the natural ecosystem of a land just to get the crops, only desired crops or the only desired result. It is not the philosophy of natural farming, where we make sure that the natural ecosystem sustains, other plants along with our crops also sustains. This is the natural concept of natural farming, I would say.
Just I have a question to Madam. Madam, can you, I mean, suggest something to the rooftop gardens and all? Because I am from Delhi, I live in a flat, but still I am maintaining some flat, I mean, rooftop garden. Do you have any suggestion for them or anything? Because I myself is making my own compost and doing helping. I have some group and trying to do something very very less to the
So you
city
can
to.
use the kitchen waste that is easily accessible to you, because the cow dung and cow urine, I'm not sure whether you have access to it on regular basis there, as it is an urban setup. But I'm sure that you have kitchen waste, eggshells. Just break it, crumb it, and make it decomposed for some time, and you can just spread it on the top surface of the pots.
Yes, as Madam Shashwathi mentioned also, those of you want to visit, she is also welcoming. So here it is, same concept is explained as a permaculture, and you very nicely answered one of the questions of natural farming does not give NPK. That was one of the questions raised by one of the participants, and you have very nicely articulated that a banana peel will give one particular thing, tea will give something else, and you also gave totally NPK, all the three justified. So it's a question of looking at the resources and fixing them. And so I see that whenever time permits, all of us can converge and meet. I was able to meet Madam Shashwathi in Green Path restaurant of Jairaman, who created an ecosystem. He has got passion for organic farming, and we mostly go there on Sunday morning to have breakfast. And so nice that we have discussed these things, and it's good that we have a nice interactive session today. And organizers, please populate the feedback form as well as Any other announcements about our future programs? Thank you, Jahid, for your appreciation and your phone number. Similarly, thank you, Sudhakar Reddy Garu, for sharing the phone number for attendees. Whoever wants your number to be known to others, feel free to share your number. Others would note down. Organizers have a copy of this chat session ready for the future reference. And please organize to make everyone know about feedback form and then our KhetiValah channels and the future programs. Tomorrow, 6:30, we would have a discussion on mango cultivation and challenges and solutions. Yes, thank you, TNR Raut, sir. And thank you very much, ma'am, for your excellent speech. And from all of us and KhetiValah, this is a token of appreciation for you.
Thank you
It's a
so much.
natural plant for you.
Would
Your
love
love
that.
for natural
Best
things.
gift for a farmer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I think we would conclude now because it's 9:45. Thank you everyone for participating. Sudhakar Garu, Anil ji, and Shashwathi, the main speaker, Venkat Naidu Garu. So if there are no more further questions, thank you very much for everyone to join and also the main speaker, Shashwathi, yes, Vardhan. Dhanyavad.